Alright guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about how to fish in the fall transition. Let's get into it. Alright guys, how to fish in the fall transition. The fall transition stinking sucks. Better known, September. September stinking sucks. I'm going to tell you that right now. But this is how you can avoid it. I made a video a couple weeks ago, something like that, about how top 3 tips of early fall, top 3 like mistakes of early fall bass fishing. But today, I'm gonna tell you the struggle is real, bro. I was fishing out the lake this weekend. Wake up 5:30-ish, somewhere around there, get on the water around 6. Still dark out there. Think throw a frog, nothing. Go offshore, walking bait off some brush piles. Usually you can catch a couple fish on some walking bait off brush piles. Nothing. Okay, I bet. Okay, I go throw a weightless fluke because I'm pretty sure they're chasing shad because it's cold outside. Nothing. And randomly it just got cold for no reason. It was like 60 degrees this morning and the water literally felt like a fridge. It was cold. I'm telling you that. It was cold and it was dirty and there was particles floating everywhere in the water. After I fished a fluke, I fished a drop shot. Nothing. Nothing. Not even a thing. Actually, I didn't even fish a drop shot that long because I just quit. I literally fished a drop shot for maybe 10 minutes and I just quit. I quit. It was like I spent, let's see, I got off the water like around 11. And then I went to with my grandparents because they were in town and we ate lunch. I spent the whole morning from 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock, 5 whole hours with not a single fish nor a single bite. And I wasn't even seeing a big bass blow up. And then after lunch, I thought about it and I was thinking, what have I learned from tactical bassing? What have I learned from TRF? What have I learned? And I put all those dots together and I figured out I should probably downsize because in the fall transition, there's abundance of little small bait fish about this big. No, they're probably like this big. But when the shad spawn, the shad have finally gotten big enough where they're coming out of the weeds, where they chill and they get big to come offshore in school. So they're finally coming out of the weeds and they're finally going offshore to get eaten by bass. So all the bass are eating little small bait fish because there's a lot more little small bait fish than there are big boy bait fish. So with that being said, what do? I downsize. I get the dang 4th ounce Bitsy bug. I think it go to town, son. 24-pound bag of that sucker. Yeah, it was good. It turned a bad day into a good day. Not every day you get a 24-pound bag, son. I'm in most of the tournaments around here. Well, not really, but 30-30 probably when you pretty much win you all the tournaments around here. But we were Texas. See, in Texas, a 2-pounder is a small one. A 5-pounder is a big one, a medium size. 8-pounder is a big one. 12-pounder is a giant. This Texas bass fishing for you. So basically, you want to downsize in September because there's a lot of small stuff, okay? And with the thermocline, okay, there's a lot of small bait fish around. There's small bluegill. The bluegill just finished up spawning as well. There's a lot of small bluegill around. I don't know about the crawfish, but I don't really care about the crawfish because I don't really have crawfish in my lakes. But I don't know when the crawfish spawn or if they even do spawn. I don't... Just in a gnat. Oh my gosh. Yeah, extra protein, you know what I mean. You know what I mean, Kyle. So basically, abundance of smaller than average bait fish, as you probably know because I've told you like 15 times. Let's get into the deep stuff. Why are the bass so stubborn? Okay. If there's an abundance of bait, shouldn't they be going crazy? Well, Barnabas, I'm glad you asked because technically, yes, you are right, Barnabas. You're supposed to be going crazy. But because you see, you have this is the water columns in the summertime. You have the top layer, hot, pretty good oxygen. Middle layer, real good oxygen, cooler, thermocline. Really, really good oxygen, really, really cool. Under the thermocline, no oxygen, but cold as flip, okay? When that top layer gets as cold as the bottom layer, the cold water goes down to the bottom of the lake, and the hotter water from the bottom of the lake rises back up. That is called a fall turnover. When the lake goes like, whip, 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 bye. It's one of them dang spin moves on you, son. And how do you can tell this? You can tell this by looking in your water, and if there's like a lot of particles of dirt in your water, because that cooler water brings up all of those little things with it. So there's like a lot of dirt, like little particles of stuff. Just like the Eagles guy. You can just talk to it on Dak Prescott, son. They ain't gonna reject it. We ain't talking about the Eagles stuff. Cowboys barely won that one. I like the Cowboys. But we're not talking about the Cowboys. We are talking about a fall. Okay, so basically when the water comes up from the deep, it brings particles. That's how you can tell. All right. And then when that happens, the bass kind of gets like whenever like you feel drowsy and you don't want to move. That's pretty much what the bass are feeling like. So the bass, they ain't gonna be eating nothing quick. At least my lake wasn't. Floridian bass are not gonna be eating anything big and aggressive. They're gonna eat small little stuff because they don't want to move a lot, and there's a lot of it. So why would they target the harder, more smart bait fish when they can go after the dumb little bait fish? So my thing is, with this whole video summarinos, the conclusion, fish small. Fish, you don't have to fish slow. You can tank like a little dang swim bait and go throw it down the bank and go fast. But what I really see him to catch him is like smaller jigs. So like little bitchy bugs and little drop shots, Ned Ricks, all that stuff can slap them in the month of September and into October as the fall turnover happens. And by that being said, we have come to the end of another video, and hope you all have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, or morning, whatever time of the day it is. So, hasta la vista, ciao. Catch you, big one, peace.